The Upstate is growing. We hear it all the time. We've got movers right here in the Upstate to help make your journey a whole lot easier. We have got Chris Sweet from Swamp Rabbit Moving. And I know, y'all, you look outside and you're thinking it is like nighttime. It is pouring down rain. But guess what? There are still people moving. Chris, obviously these days you're like, oh, it's going to be a day.
Yes.
But you're still moving if that's what it takes.
Absolutely, because people still have closings, they have deadlines they have to meet, so we just take extra precaution and putting down extra floor runners in the floor, making sure we wrap the furniture extra good, wearing water or slip-proof shoes, that way the guys don't slip and fall with your furniture in hand.
Oh gosh.
So we're ready for really any scenario. We just take extra precautions in these bad weather days.
I think that's good to know, because some people, I would assume, like, I mean, do you want to cancel? But it's not as easy as being like, hey, we'll just move you tomorrow, because
absolutely,
it's a very strategic and everything's.
Especially when you have a lot of money on the line, and whether you're a buyer or seller, you know, you can't just tell your buyer, hey, you can't buy this house today because it's raining outside. You know, like it just doesn't work like that. So
rain or shine, even after Helene, you said you did one day off because everything was on the ground, you couldn't get around.
Yeah, so we didn't work on obviously the day that Hurricane Helene happened, but the next day we were right back at it. And I think for like that first week and a half, you know, 90% of our customers didn't even have power.
Right.
So we were moving in crazy driving conditions because there was trees everywhere, and also with no real light.
Yes, and you're like, we're going to get you your stuff. Don't you worry.
Yes.
But that's kind of, what we wanted to talk today about. We were talking, there have been horror stories from the past, from all these, Dateline shows and stuff, about people that would hire movers only for them to be like, oh, well, we're not going to actually deliver it till you give us,
Way more money, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see that a lot, especially on interstate moves where you're moving cross country, is you see that you'll book through a broker not knowing it's a broker. And what they'll do is they'll just farm that job off to the cheapest price mover. And then that mover comes in and realizes it's a lot more than what it really is. And then that's where you get those stories where they showed up to the unload address and it was just thousands of dollars more. A good way to protect yourself, especially when you're doing an interstate move, is just go to safer.fmcsa.dot.gov.
Okay.
Scroll down to the bottom, it'll have a company snapshot. You just click that and then enter the mover's name into that, and it'll show you if they're actually licensed to do the move. And that's a huge way to protect yourself in a move earlier on. Also, when you do that and you type in the company's name, what you want to look at is that first box that says entity. So you want to make sure right there it says entity, it says carrier and not broker. Because that's where you hear a lot, 9 times out of 10, that's where you hear a lot of horror stories about the move, and it's just you hired a broker instead of a mover.
Gosh, see, this is why we like to introduce you and show you face to face who you are going to be working with. I mean, then we've all fallen for things like you may think you're getting a better deal or something is cheaper. You get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
I mean,
when you're moving and you see somebody that comes in just thousands of dollars cheaper, that should be your first red flag there, right there, because why,
Yeah. Why are they a lot cheaper? Like, are they going to just throw your stuff around, or
are they licensed? Are they insured? All that stuff costs money. So that would just be my first red flag, is if somebody's coming in just dramatically cheaper than anybody else.
Exactly. Sometimes you're not actually saving a buck. It's
no.
the headache and everything else. So if people are watching and they're like, oh my goodness, I've got a move coming up in April. Wow, we're already second week into April.
That's crazy.
How, soon in advance should they get in touch with you? What's the best steps?
Summertime has kicked off early for us.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Just go ahead and make that first point of contact. Let's start walking you through the process and getting you on the date that you prefer. I
love it, y'all, and they will do really whatever you need. If you need them to come and pack up the house, they'll do that. If they need you to, store your stuff for a little bit, they do that. They move you anywhere as long as the move somehow relates to South Carolina, either starts or finishes.
Correct.
They got you covered. So we like to say, get in the habit
of calling the rabbit.
All the information right there on your screen. Swamp Rabbit Moving Company. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Megan.